introduce you today to Margo, who's here to speak to us. Let's give her a welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Margo, and I'm here today to talk to you about education. A, B, C, D, F. When I read these letters to you, they mean nothing. But I'm going to read them again, and this time I'm going to tell you that these are your grades. A, B, C, D, F. You have a B in history, a C in science, an A in English, and so on and so forth. When you hear that you have a C in science, your heart starts to race, your palms begin to sweat, you're panicked. What am I going to do with a C in science, you think to yourself? The C goes into my GPA, it's going to bring it right down. My GPA goes on my transcript, and now I'm never going to get a job. Okay, not quite. Our generation puts such a high emphasis and importance on getting the best and only the best grades that we've completely forgotten about what it means to get an education. So that leads me to my number one question. Are we really learning to learn, or are we only doing it for the grade? I want everyone to think about the last A they got. What subject was it in? How hard did you work to get that A? You valued it, you appreciated it, you probably bragged about it to the person sitting next to you. But let me ask you this. Did you value and appreciate the education, the information that you were tested on? Did you go around to your friends and brag about how you know every element on the periodic table, or how you can successfully fill out a balance sheet in your accounting class? Probably not. I know that I could do that. The education system today is so focused on this test-taking curriculum that it's turned into this cycle of cramming information into a semester, spitting out the information when we're told to, and then forgetting it a few days later. Us students are put under so much pressure from every possible angle, from our parents, from our schools, from ourselves, and from society. The school system has turned into a place filled with stresses, anxieties, and an unrealistic expectation to achieve. A Race to Nowhere, which is a film done by Cindy Angles, highlights personal anecdotes from teachers and from students who talk about why they think that they're put under so much pressure because of the test-taking curriculum. One student goes on to say that he wakes up in the morning and he dreads going to school because he feels that he's under so much pressure. One teacher says that she feels that our students are pressured to perform. They're not necessarily pressured to think freely and intellectually. The film goes on to say, students end up in the workplace and in college uninspired and unprepared because we are mentally exhausted and burnt out from the grueling coursework that we've been put through in high school and in college. So you might be thinking to yourself, what exactly am I suggesting? I'm not standing up here to tell you all to drop out of school or to never take another test again in your life or to become one of those people who sticks it to the man and forms their own path. I'm really suggesting that we redefine how we view education. The dominant culture of education today, as I said before, is not focused on learning and teaching. It is focused on testing. When the dominant culture of education should be focused on individuality, creativity, and inspiration. Spoken word poet Sully Briggs speaks about how he loves education, but he hates schools. He says that education is about inspiring one's mind, not just filling one's head. If we can break away from this vicious cycle of getting a grade that defines our value in society, we can start to focus on becoming complex thinkers and problem solvers. Author Ken Robinson hosted a TED Talk titled How to Escape Education's Death Valley. In this talk, he highlights how students prosper under a wide range of curriculum rather than just a set lesson plan that focuses on only your individual talents. Because education is not one size fits all. I want everyone to think back to the time in high school when you took the ACT or the SAT. Probably not a time that you want to revisit. Think about what people told you before you took the test. Did anyone tell you to just not worry about it and it's not a big deal, or just do your best? It was probably more along the lines of, the score you get on this test can decide if you go to this university or this one. And rather than do your best, it was do the best. Education has taken a turn for, rather than personal achievement and personal growth, we've decided to pin ourselves against one another. And this becomes an unfair race because education is not one size fits all. So when I was doing a little bit of research on how the education system can approach this problem and maybe take steps in the right direction towards decreasing our pressures and decreasing our stresses, I looked into the pass-fail grading system. I spoke to one of my friends who recounted her experience with the pass-fail grading system. She's a student at UCLA, and they're given the opportunity to take a pass-fail class with obvious limitations. You can't take a pass-fail class within your major, you can't be a prereq, and it has to be a general requirement. So, for example, let's say you're a business major here at Elon, and science might not really be your forte. Let's think back to the C that you got in the beginning of the speech. That C in our grading system is bringing your GPA down. That's inevitable. But if you have a C in a pass-fail grading system, you get the C, and that's a passing grade. Anything above a C is pass. So that way, you're put under less pressure, and students are given the opportunity to study a wide range of topics. So as I come to the end of my speech, I hope that I not only helped you to redefine the value of education, but I hope that I encouraged you to take a little bit of pressure off of yourselves. Because in 20 years from now, whether you're a teacher, an accountant, an actress, a lawyer, wherever you may be, are you really going to remember that C you got in science when you were a sophomore in college?